Let's say you get into contract with a home and you found out there was $50,000 worth of dry rot that needed to be done. Seller says, heck no, take it as is. And you cancel. And the next buyer comes in and says, why did it come back on the market? And the seller says, oh, the buyer's finance didn't go through. They could lie about that, but you wouldn't know whether they're lying or not.
Earlier, Chia, you mentioned some of the houses went back on the market because it fell through. So let's talk about that a little bit and why that happens. If you are purchasing a home that's very, very popular, so people actually want to live there, that means less houses are sold in that neighborhood. When the appraiser comes back and look at the comps, they're looking at homes that are already sold. And if homes didn't sell in that area until like 3-6 months ago, the appraiser hasn't caught up with that. So the value hasn't caught up. So a lot of times these houses, they're like 500,000 purchase price, but the value comes in at only 450. If you haven't prepared for paying that appraisal gap, then it goes back into the market. Or if you didn't do your due diligence and you went to a lender that didn't do all of that due diligence, check all your paperwork and everything like that, and halfway through your escrow, you find out you really truly don't qualify, that is going to hurt because you spent money for the appraisal, you spent money for the inspection, and now you don't have a home. So now it goes back into the market, and half the times it's so unfortunate because it's situations that you should have seen, or the person that you work with should have seen up front.
Another thing buyers would all automatically assume when a home comes back on the market is, did something happen to that home? Is something wrong with that home? Is it haunted? Does it have like a bad juju there? Is it like bad feng shui? There's a lot of variables why a home gets taken back and it falls back into the market. There's a lot of variables. So the best way is to have your agent call that listing agent or seller and find out why it came back on the market. And sometimes, I'm just saying sometimes, not all agents or sellers are going to tell you the truth. For example, let me play a scenario for you guys. Let's say you get into contract with a home and you found out there was $50,000 worth of dry rot that needed to be done. Seller says, heck no, take it as is. And you cancel. And the next buyer comes in and says, hey seller, why did it cancel? Why did it come back on the market? And the seller says, oh, the buyer's finance didn't go through. They could lie about that, but you wouldn't know whether they're lying or not. So it could probably be because of the $50,000 repair that they didn't want to do, but they don't want to share that with you because why? You're not gonna want to continue on with the home anymore too. You're gonna want to just say, okay, never mind. If you're not gonna address that $50,000 difference of repairs with the initial buyers, then we're out. They don't want to hear that from another buyer.
Right.
So what do they want you to do? They're gonna want you to eventually hire your own inspector and pray to God that your inspector don't find all those damages, because inspectors are still human at the end of the day, and not every inspector is diligent, and sometimes they do miss, and that's the type of inspector that seller is hoping for, so that way they can sell the home, so that is a possibility. I'm not saying everybody does that, but some people do. There's bad apples everywhere, and you just gotta make sure that you're well represented and that you have an agent that looks out for your best interests.